bit.
I'm
Yes,
telling
my
you,
people, we're live. We're in the flesh. It's the breakdown show. It's myself, Gumsa. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. But we're still here. We're going to break down what happened yesterday. As everyone probably knows, Everton 2, Arsenal 1. We're going to get straight into this. Yes, my peoples. Yes, my peoples. It's me, it's Gumsa. I'm back with another tactical insight, a tactical breakdown of what went wrong yesterday. And, I couldn't be here by myself. I've got my partner in crime. It's worked out perfectly. His training's got cancelled, so he's here with us today. My man, George. What are you saying, bro?
I'm in better spirits than yesterday, man. I'm in better spirits than yesterday. I'm still
how
vexed,
did
but
I hear
got
that? How did you find the therapy?
therapeutic.
It's needed, isn't it? It's needed.
I
You
got a
got to
little
get it off
vent
your
out.
chest.
Got a
Got
little
to get it
vent
off your
out.
chest.
Yeah, man.
Ready, Mr. Silver Fox? How you keeping, bro? Good morning. Good evening. Did I say morning? My bad. My bad. It's one of them days. It's one of them days. And One Touch TV son, Mr. Nigerian Englishman son, dad was robbed. Well, let's just go straight in. Um, Thoughts after obviously yesterday we was all quite heated, all quite disappointed. Today, how do you feeling about it all?
It's just like I'm saying, I'm not gonna jump on the bandwagon and say Arteta out and stuff like that. And I'm just trying to be cool, calm, and collected here, trying to keep my thoughts rational and what I say rational. Like, but he doesn't help himself. He doesn't help
I agree.
himself. Like
What way
even
do you
with,
reckon?
just even things with like the substitutions and stuff like that. Like if they pull off, so if Eddie scores that, no one's saying why did you bring on Eddie?
Mm,
But he didn't score it. Furthermore, Eddie's a number 9, yeah, but then you got him playing out wide.
mm.
Like he done very well. He created like
That's the
Aubameyang a
thing.
chance. He done very well, but naturally, is that his strongest position? No.
I think the hardest thing with that is, well, I agree with you. He did do very well. He done more in that 20 minutes than, and not even bashing Martinelli,
Yeah,
but he done more in that 20 than Martinelli managed to do. And even probably more than Laka done in the game as well, if I'm
yeah,
perfectly honest, in terms of creating chances and making things happen. But like you're saying, when it goes wrong, everyone's going to point the finger to say, why put him there? Because
yeah,
maybe if someone else was more clutch who went there, they might have scored the header. But yeah, and that's where you don't help yourself. Like he is paid to make difficult decisions, but at the
yeah,
same time, when you're under pressure, sometimes it's almost he can save himself. Put on Pepe. Pepe plays badly. Everyone's going to be onto Pepe, not
yeah.
Arteta for that. Do you know what I mean? But
Absolutely.
again, he's paid to win matches, and another day again, Nketiah walks off with a goal and 2 assists, or even 1 assist, and we're saying what an inspired substitution and the rest of it. So
Yeah,
it's them fine margins, isn't it?
it is. It is.
Um, Anything else starting 11?
I said for the people that went there yesterday, I messaged Gumsa straight away saying I can't believe he's back in here. I'm fuming. I'm fuming. Don't think anything else was really wrong. Aubameyang had to come out. He's been stinking out the gaff. So it's only right that he came out and Laka went in. Not saying Laka done any better or anything like that, but rotation. Sometimes you need to drop somebody. Laka could come back now. Aubameyang could come back now and be on fire because he's thinking, I'm not invincible. I can be dropped.
Mm, mm,
Like it's just certain little things just to tweak, like players' motivation and things like that. But I don't think the starting 11, other than Xhaka being in there, Tavares. I understand playing Tierney, but you could have went with Eva, in my opinion.
mm.
Like, yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think the starting 11 was actually that bad. Now I look at it.
Mm, mm. Now, again, it's not being disrespectful to Everton, but that 11 should be
Yeah.
more than capable of beating Everton.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and not to say not even beat Everton, but put a better performance in. I think that was the one thing that really got to me was the level of the performance. It was horrendous. Like we've lost games this season, we've drawn games and we haven't played well. We've lost games we haven't played that badly. I'd look at Liverpool 4-0 wasn't a reflection on how I felt afterwards. I didn't feel like I
Yeah.
got beat 4-0 because I saw lots of positives in that.
Yeah.
This one, again, I don't know if it was this. Let's be honest. I don't know if it's that one player who was in that team straight away put me on a downer. So anytime something goes wrong, I'm pointing at him. But
Yeah.
there was a distinct style we played with him, which was not how we played for a few weeks. Um, and that is what we will get into. We're going to get into a lot of that. And it's not just me trying to bash him, but it was just you're watching, you're thinking, he's not. And it's just those little things which happen over 90 minutes, which ends up costing us. And again, something might not have come of it. Something might not have happened if he had moved 5 yards forward or if he had put more. But it's just
Something to think
constantly,
about, though.
yeah. And it's just it's just even what we're going to see is just pressing and the difference it makes if you press in certain areas. And it was so easy for Everton to get out sometimes, which is then causing us problems and actually stop the game, stop it up higher up the pitch. And we're going to see an example of a previous game. So with that being said, we're going to get to these comments quickly, and then we're going to get into our first thing. We're doing it a little bit different today, so I don't know how it's going to work. So people just bear with us. But let's get to the comments first. DWTT, don't waste the tweet. Good evening, Gumsa and Jordan, Mr. Silver Fox. How you keeping, DWTT? Hope you're well. He's got the Ian Wright shirt there in his logo, and just want to say massive love to Ian Wright, who's lost his mum yesterday. I think she was 91. She passed. So big up Ian Wright. Everyone's thinking about you, and best wishes to yourself and your family. And again, Ian Wright is the reason why I support Arsenal. He was the man when we was coming up. One Touch TV Sons agree with you about the substitutions and Abra and Nketiah. Amundi Junior, how you keeping, brother? I know you've been enjoying your last week, to be fair, because you got the better of us on Thursday, and then we go and do it Arsenal again yesterday, and yeah, it is what it is. But in hindsight, I truly believe your lack of characters to get rough and tough. Everton, although pushing the limits, got the desired response. Yeah, it's very true there. And he's also said good evening. Starting level was good, but didn't perform for 70 minutes. Sub should have come in at 60. Abba, Tavares, then someone other than Nketiah, maybe Pepe. Let's quickly run through this bit. Opposition managers with less talented players will ask their teams to get stuck in versus Arsenal. It's very true. Pepe should have come on instead of Nketiah. We maybe touch on that a bit later if we get time, but there's definitely something wrong in the camp, and I think Arteta's taking the stance he took with Ozil, and he's taken with others where if you're not going to train, you're not going to do what I need you to do, you're not going to play. And I'm not against that. If he's not doing what he needs to do, he shouldn't be anywhere near that team. So, but then shouldn't be on the bench either.
We don't put him on the bench.
Yeah, definitely. And also one more thing before we get on. Mondi very correctly, rest in peace to Marvin Morgan. If anyone who doesn't know, he's the guy behind Big Ego. Sorry, the head's gone crazy. What's it called again? Fresh Ego Kid, that's the one. Sorry, Big Ego. Yeah. So yeah, rest in peace, Marvin. Well wishes to your family and friends as well. Definitely a big loss in our community. So yeah, let's see if we can see this. We're gonna do it a little bit different this evening. We're gonna share this screen here. Let's see how this looks. Nah, that's not the one. Hold on. Let's try that again. I'm really sorry, people. As I said, we're trying a new format today. So we're gonna see how that works. But it didn't work on that first instinct. Bear with me. I'm really sorry. Right, here we go. This should do it. Share screen. I need someone to be doing this for me in the background. All right.
We're not that big yet,
this
man.
should work. This should work. Is it loading on your screen? Can you see it? 3 pictures.
Yeah.
Right. This is the first one. And again, it's just something I noticed. When it went in, I was going mad about it there and then. I couldn't wait to get on the show. So this is Everton's first goal. The top 2 slides, we've got throw-ins, different positions on the pitch, but it's our wing-backs taking the throw. So top left slide, you can see Thomas Partey And I even got an arrow I can move. This is beautiful. Look at technology. So you got Thomas Partey here. Tomiyasu's taking a throw. Xhaka's on the cover, comfortable position. He's there to screen out whatever happens. All good.
But why?
This one here.
Sorry,
Sorry,
just quickly.
go on, go first. You go quickly.
Why is Partey so close?
Do you know what? I'm not going to moan because
smaller?
it's still image. So it's quite small and it's a still image. So he might have
Yeah.
moved and then ended up there. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into too much, but just the
Yeah.
basics of the shape.
Yeah.
Here, again, they're really close together, but we're going to focus on this one in a minute. Just by them two being in line makes a bit of a difference. Now, this one here is a big problem for me. How your two centre midfielders end up in this position here, I don't know. And you can see this big box, right? Everyone can see the big box.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to move it on. And this one is the second picture. So Tavares throws the ball into Xhaka. There's not much he can do there. He clears his lines. Martinelli tries to win the 50-50. I've put the box in a few of them. Partey, who started here, but able to clear his line with the ball. And you can see the back lines come up as well. He now intercepts this header here. It bounces down and we play out and we go through Saka. We're going to move it on one slide. God, this is bad. Right. First of all, Partey, he's come into play. We all saw what happened with the bad pass. And then Tavares tries to keep it in, which then gets intercepted. But remember the square I've had out? Look at the space for Andre Gomez here. Look at the space. And we move on to the last slide. So obviously they nick the ball and look how much space he's in. And that leads to the shot, which hits the post and Richarlison scores. Who are you blaming more for that? Again, my first instance is Xhaka's hiding. He doesn't really want the ball because in that position there,
The
you don't
fact
want
that
the
you've
ball
gone
really,
above the ball means that you don't really want the ball.
Because to me, if he drops 5 yards, 10 yards here, where my arrow is now, then whoever's right wing at the time, it might have been Nketiah. He could do what Xhaka's doing there. Do you know what I mean? He could come in and play in that area. Or Odegaard can make the running. But I don't want Partey vacating that area, personally. And even what you watch is Andre Gomez was quite comfortable with Odegaard.
Yeah.
As soon as he saw Pepe make the move, look what he does and thinks, what, you're going to vacate that area? I'll go and just occupy it then. Odegaard doesn't even go with him.
I think Odegaard's got to take some accountability here because
he has to follow in as well, yeah.
I understand don't mark when you're in possession, but also how are you actually affecting the ball? And one thing that you're taught from kids is I don't know, a lot of, well, my era anyway, a saying called what if? If we lose this ball, how can I affect it?
Yeah.
So no matter how expansive you're playing or whatever, there's always that transitional saying that we've always been taught what if. So cool, Odegaard, you want to get on the ball. You're technically our luxury player. You're not really going to be the one that's thinking about the what if. But however, as a balance in the midfield, you're a part of it. The distances are huge.
I agree with that. And it's just even just basic rotation. So
yeah,
if Partey shows, Odegaard could drop and Xhaka could almost become the number 10 for the next 2 minutes.
Just because you go in there for that second don't mean that you're playing there. It's just to get on the ball and get the ball flowing.
Yeah. And we see Lacazette do it a lot. He drops all over the park. And at one stage he was playing left back and he's pointing at Tierney to say, well, you go and play there. And Martinelli's end up playing the striker, Tierney's left wing, and Lacaz's left back, just because Lacaz's filled in. And then we recover from that position. It just stinks to me, I'll be honest. And again, you go back, it's just, it frustrates me watching that. And that led to the first goal. And it's just those little mistakes we make, which, again, I call some of the players cowards at times. It's just the same old mistakes. Do you know what I mean? That we keep making.
For me, it's unfair on Nuno, for example. He comes on the pitch and he's going to receive criticism for being enthusiastic and like the pass was bad, innit? He tried to make something good out of a bad pass. Yeah, he got stitched up and whatnot. But then it's looked at, you brought off Tierney for Nuno, but really and truly, he hasn't actually done nothing wrong. Like, he's trying to make the best out of a bad situation. Because All
Yeah,
right, it's
and
easy to make a mistake.
like
I'm
you
not going
said,
to crucify anyone for making a mistake, innit? But even
mm,
our desire to get back in there,
oh,
it wasn't great. It wasn't great. Like
yeah, and
to release
we see
and
that.
block the shot. I didn't see anyone release and try actually block the shot either.
Mm, mm. Yeah, and there's a couple of clips where the desire is horrendous throughout the game. Um, and yeah, again, it's just sometimes just the basic things, right? Just protect things, screen. Sometimes I didn't see boys players sprinting, and let's get into that now, because that to me was a big issue. Just the way we defend. So let's bring this up. It's a quick video clip. It can only be a few seconds long, but just look at the desire to get back and defend. Actually stops running. So watch again. It might stop the pass. Do you know what I mean? Tierney's out of position, and I think this is part of the reason Tierney came off, because there was that incident, and the instant Xhaka got booked, Tierney looked like he couldn't get back, and I feel that was probably why he probably thought he's struggling a bit. He needs to come off, but you
I'm
play
not
that
even saying
midfield
you're going to
area.
overly affect the play, but you're going to put something
No,
in
but
his
it's
mind.
better get a little bit of pressure.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Just a little bit of extra pressure. So that worries me. You're a centre midfielder. You're meant to be one of the enforcers, the leader, and that's your effort to get back. If you're playing in that situation, what are you thinking?
Wait, if I'm him or if I'm
If you're one of the, if you're Gabriel, say,
I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind. If I'm Ramsdale, I'm losing my mind because Ramsdale has been fantastic, yeah. And I think Gabriel and Ben White have been brilliant too, innit, yeah. And I think the three of them are building up like a partnership, yeah, like that I'm actually starting to like, and I'm investing in it, innit, like, and I want them to do well, and I can see that they got pride. They take pride in their performances and their defending and stuff like that. So when they're conceding goals and it looks like it's the back four, it's not.
yeah,
So I'm losing my mind, and I'm going absolutely crazy because it's like we're actually putting our body on the line. We're blocking all these shots and defending and communicating and trying to be aggressive and learning our trade. You're someone that's learnt your trade, and you can't even give us something in return, or track back in, or give us. Listen, you haven't played in a while, so I'm gonna cut him some slack. Yeah, maybe you're. I know it's like, yeah, you're physically tired, and you're like, I'm trying, but I can't actually move. But then be honest and say I got to come off because I'm not up to the speed. Because Tierney
I
had
agree
to.
with that.
So
no, I agree with it. So I think I'm lagging a little bit, but we're gonna get to some comments. DWTT's having some great comments in there. Sorry guys if I'm lagging a little bit. Hopefully it kind of gets better shortly. But he's put every time Arsenal get smacked in the mouth, they fail. This reminded me of Burnley last season, 100%. Xhaka always hides. His last thought is to get back into the box to help. Seems to jog over, always gets a front row seat to the shot, score. Yeah, and again, it's just that I think he has an element of, well, if I don't make the effort, it doesn't look like it's my fault. So I just get in a position where I can say, well, I've got my man, rather than take responsibility. Again, make your block and then blister someone else for not doing their job. Jordan, I'm going to come back to you in a second because I see you went to jump up and say something.
Yeah.
Of course, we could pick on Xhaka, but why is he playing 90 minutes? And that's touching on what you just said as well. He's tired. He needs to come off, and he was on a yellow. And we will get into that as well because a different decision might have made a different outcome with the second goal. The back line was poor when under pressure. Sense of urgency never occurs. Attackers get all the space and time they need. And again, I agree with that, but I think that comes from the press. There's very little press from us. We close space, but we don't press aggressively to actually win the ball back. And again, some clips later on will show that. It will definitely show that. You go down, Jordan, and then move on to the next.
What comment was it? I need you to go back to the comment quickly.
This one here always hides his last thoughts to get back to the box.
So I was just on YouTube watching some things that are like reactions after the game and stuff like that. And someone said to me, Xhaka was one of our better players.
A lot of people
not said to me. They didn't say it to me personally, but this is what they said. Yeah. Now I'm now saying, what did he do to be a better player?
Mm.
Like, if you said it about Odegaard, okay, cool. He looked like he had a bit after him, and his confidence grew after he scored the goal or whatever. But Xhaka didn't do nothing for me. Like just because you didn't make a mistake or you didn't give away the ball or something like that, yeah, you didn't do anything because as a midfielder, how many penetrative passes did you make? How many times did you break a line with your first touch? How many times did you break up play? So let's I'm not trying to slate him or whatever because Partey again has been the worst player on the pitch. Yeah. Second game in a row now. He needs to come out. Yeah. I'm not saying forever. I'm just saying he needs to be dropped and we go again, refresh. But don't make excuses or try to say, oh, someone wasn't that bad because you actively on the eye haven't seen them do anything. The fact that you haven't seen them do anything shows to me that they've not got the belief or like the, as Troy Deeney says, the cojones to actually try something or do something, and it like
to impact the game in a positive way. Yeah, as I said, I know, and it's gonna sound like we're Xhaka bashing. It really is, and I fully understand why it sounds like that. But again, this has been our worst performance, I feel, for a while, and he hasn't been in the team for a long time. And I see a lot of differences in some of the other players how they play. Like you're saying, the actual want to affect the game in a positive way. Now, I'll be honest, we're going to come up with some heat maps in a minute. And to me, it's frustrating because what he's doing is making himself look like, again, like not making no mistakes. He's making easy passes, but he's doing something that Gabriel can do. Where he sits in that pocket. Go on.
Partey has been the worst player on the pitch twice in 2 games because he's not playing well. His confidence is not high, but he's meant to be our enforcer and our ball player in midfield.
Yeah.
So, which one does Xhaka take responsibility for? Lokonga against Liverpool, he got brought off. He struggled a bit. Like at first he was good, then he got brought off because their press is relentless. But at least they're giving you something. But this is the thing: they will look worse because they're actively trying to get on the ball and not shy away and actively trying to create things or do something, rather than just sitting in a pocket and just playing sideways or giving it to a left back.
100%. And these things here for me are crucial. Again, it's not, I said, it feels bad because it feels like we're always slating, but I didn't see the guy get on the ball in a half turn once. Like, I could go in there and play the role he plays because all he does is sit in next to Partey where the game's in front of him. He receives it and he opens up and passes it. Like, I can do that, but actually leave leave Gabriel to do that because you can go make space somewhere else. So rather than Laka coming 10 yards deeper to get the ball, you could get that in that role. And then Laka now can stay high, or Aubameyang, whoever it is. So it's those little things there. And we're going to move on to the next slide because, again, this comes hand in hand. And we haven't kind of designed it to look this way, but what we've been talking about, we will be touching up on in slides to come. So we're bringing this one back in. And this is what we're saying about going to impact the game somewhere else. So these are different clips throughout the game, which I've picked up on. Here now, for me, the referee's picked up a great pocket. And actually, if Xhaka went and worked that pocket, what that would do, obviously, it gives you something else going forward, but it gives Doucouré something to think about. Now, if Doucouré stays with Partey, Tomiyasu might be able to get that into you. Now, you've already beat the press. Andre Gomez has got to commit, and we're now playing high up the pitch. If Doucouré does switch on and does go with Xhaka and drop in there, Partey can now open out and give Gabriel the ball, and Gabriel's going to get the ball in the same position Xhaka is, but at least Xhaka is higher up the pitch, so we've got an extra person in attack. Again, the second clip, the ball's on the right, and look at the space of that hole. And we've seen that hole earlier, which was what Andre Gomez punished us with. Remember that same hole, that same square box I put in? Andre Gomez. Yeah, Andre Gomez got in there. Now, again, if Xhaka bursts to get in there, now Iwobi has something to think about. And if Iwobi goes in with him, which he probably should do, that might mean Gabriel can come around on the outside again, and Tavares now is probably in more space because obviously Iwobi is meant to be dealing with Tavares. So it just creates a bit more space. And this one here again, at the bottom, I've now put arrows in because now Odegaard could probably do a little bit more as well. He can drive and take Andre Gomez with him. Now, if he does that and Xhaka dives in behind Doucouré, again, it's just creating more options. Partey can maybe even drop a couple yards to get on a half time, which again we can maybe release Gabriel or something like that. And that's just the unselfish runs where I might not get the ball, but it's just creating a bit more space. And if a ball does go forward to the centre backs, I might be able to pick up the second ball. Again, you play midfield. If you're in Xhaka's role now, wouldn't you just be driving your hardest to get in them spaces?
Listen, I'm a different midfielder to Xhaka anyway, so naturally, I want to be in that position regardless. Like, my eyes are lit up about something like that. But even if you're not the attacking midfielder or whatever, still, like, everyone thinks that Xhaka's got a wonder left foot. Like, so you get on that ball in that position and you let it off, no one can moan at you.
Yeah.
Because, being honest, that's what I want. I want you to actually be there and lay it off, because everyone raves about your left foot, how technically good you are and whatnot. How many shots do you have? Like, football's evolved now. You look at like how many shots Fernandinho, Bernardo Silva, Gundogan, like they all have. Henderson scoring at the minute. Like, he scored that unbelievable with his left foot the other against Everton.
Yeah, and do you know what? We moan. Everyone laughs at Fred, but Fred hurt us from making that late run, and he scored again on the weekend from just being in that kind of area to pick up a second ball. When the balls come on the cutback, he's in a good area to score. So even if you go to the top right, if Saka gets there and cuts it back in there, if Martinelli or whoever's playing left wing at the time doesn't make that run there, like we've seen Smith Rowe do it quite a bit, but actually one of the midfielders can do it as well, because now what that gives the winger is two options. I can either get it across the box, Abba will be going front post, and Ketia will be going back post. Xhaka's on the cutback. Do you know what I mean? It just gives you that extra option rather than it's either got to go Aubameyang on the front, or I think it was Nketiah on the time. Yeah, Nketiah comes to the edge of the box. But again, if Abba misses it, there's no one now behind Abba to get the tap in at the back post. And it's just that desire, and it's not just him, because I didn't see Partey getting in them areas either, to be honest with you. Yeah. But at least with Partey, he's the one that's going to orchestrate and get on the ball in the tight areas.
But this is what I'm saying to you about like roles and responsibility in the midfield. Like, you know what Partey's role is. Like, Xhaka, what is your actual role? This is not me bashing him, but like, what is your actual role here? Like, I didn't get your purpose on Monday night, what you was actually in the team to do. Because
sorry, can't finish your sentence.
Like, you didn't give stability, so if you was in there for that, you didn't give it. But fair enough. Let's say you have games like that or whatever. You just come back from injury, but like, what was your purpose? And for me, we miss Emile Smith Rowe massively, because the dynamicness of the team, like even just going forward, was just so slow and laboured. Like, it was. Ozil's not fast in it, but like you bash Ozil to bring in Odegaard, it's just the same. And I'm not talking about speed or whatever, but and I know Odegaard's young and he's got time, but the style still is just the same. Like, there's
no penetrative runs, is there? It's just always. It's just such a slow build-up. No one takes a risk on, I'm actually going to just do something to unsettle. And
we play at one constant speed. We play at just one constant speed rather than that burst of electric. I know you've got Saka and Martinelli that have got that natural speed, but like, even just the change of movements, just bursting into them pockets and stuff.
And again, Fred did it to us against United the other day. The game was slowing up on the wing areas. He made a dart and it opened up space. And someone who's hitting good form at the moment doing that, just making off the ball runs, is Mason Mount. At the moment, he's unplayable at the moment. All he's doing is the game's building and he's just making a dart for a bit of space. And either he gets picked up or he doesn't. Do you know what I mean? But what he's doing is unsettling teams. We get to a few more comments and then we go on to some more slides. Partey on the pitch is meant to be the man on the ball, starting the attack, isn't he? I always feel I don't notice him, which isn't good. Mentally and physically, he's not ready. Can't deny that. I don't think mentally he's been superb. But yeah, he is the one who's trying to orchestrate and tick. But again, it needs to then be quicker off him when he does connect the 1-2 passes or whatever it is he's doing. Canners said these picks are a joke, just shows how tactically inept we are. I say all the time, Arsenal never seem to have anyone in the middle consistently, making it easy to defend. Versus Spurs, they gave us the middle. Yep. And DWTT also ESI and Saka need a rest. The fact their presence is crucial to our success isn't good. Very bad. Yeah, we're heavily relying on these two youngsters, and yeah, it could all come crashing down because Saka is taking so many hits at the moment. It's starting to kind of, yeah, it could end up in something long term for him. We're going to keep going on anyway. Let's get back to the slides. We're going to move it on. And this here is what I'm saying about the run. So Partey is the one who wants to play. This is one piece of movement. So Everton, you can see they've got a lot of bodies around the ball. And again, the referee picks up great pockets. And I think Xhaka just needs to play next to the referee. Because here, you'll see in this picture here, Tomiyasu's got the ball. Partey's in between 4 Everton players. I don't know if Andre Silva's checked his shoulders or what, but Xhaka, if you just move where the arrow is pointing to, Partey, there's not a difficult ball for Partey to hit.
Right, it's got the
And
ability.
now, easily. Do you know what I mean? And look where now you're playing. Do you know what I mean? So you're now in this area, but instead, you can see his body language, which way he's going. He's like from here, you can see where he's going. Like from picture 1 to picture 2, you can see his body now is turning back to go into the same area he played all game. So it goes there. But what's that do for Iwobi? Look at Iwobi's language now. Say, oh, okay, I could push up 5 more yards then. Come a bit higher.
We go deeper and they go higher on the press.
Yeah. And again, this is what I was saying about leave Gabriel the space, because it goes to Gabriel now. And look, now Andre Silva thinks, well, I've got no one to even drop into. So if Xhaka pushes Andre Silva back to where the referee is, that gives Gabriel even more space to bring the ball out. But look how easy it is now for them. I'm not saying anything would have come from that or not, but it's just that thought pattern. Now the ball's gone from Partey to Gabriel. Gabriel now might be able to drive, but what it does is Andre Silva just jogs across, closes the space. Iwobi now moves 5 yards closer to Xhaka. You can have it there, but are you really doing anything spectacular? So again, Xhaka would have got the ball, made a pass, but what he's doing there is anything Gabriel couldn't do. And whereas imagine if he now picks up the ball in that area, imagine a difference in the panic for Everton compared to getting the ball in this area. And it's those little things for me where it's just like, it's just safety first all the time. Anything you want to touch upon that? So I don't know if you can see the thing.
Mate, I think the best addition to this show today has been the boxes. They are just like showing everything clear daylight that I think no one can argue with. And listen, we're not bashing Xhaka here, because if it was the other way around, we would say Partey's got to be in that position. But it's just we spoke about it yesterday. Yeah, I can't remember who said it on the we call it the therapy show about the possession. But my argument was, but it's meaningless possession.
Yeah, because
you can have the ball, but what are you actually doing with it? If I'm playing and you got the ball and you're playing across the back line between your CDMs and your left back and your right back and your centre backs, and you're not really penetrating, I'm saying, you know what, this is all right. We could just creep, and now we're gonna latch onto you and press. And then where do we win the ball? In your own half, rather than if they win the ball and off Xhaka, and he's in the referee's position, they're not even in the halfway, like near the halfway line technically. So they've got all that distance to then counter-attack and score.
Yeah,
that surely gives enough time to recover and to defend.
Well, you would say that, but this is Arsenal, so I wouldn't even bank on that.
It is Arsenal, but realistically, the further away you are from goal, the harder it is to score.
Yeah, 100%. And again, it's just that Zai. Well, I'm going to come to Canners' comment here. He's saying it's Arteta scared tactics, and that is why Xhaka is so deep. Now, I'm going to counter that because I don't think it is Arteta's tactics. And we're gonna skip some slides. We're gonna come to the last one. Bear with me 1 second. Let me find it. Let's go right to the end. Oh, it's come off. Excuse me, people. There we go. What kind of slide? Let's hit that. This is the heat maps. I've had to flip some of them because when you're the home team, you're facing one way. When you're the away team, you're facing the other. So to make it all look how it should look, I've had to flip them. Can you guys see it, or has it not come up yet?
Not come up yet.
All right, let me hit this share screen again. So yeah, this is some heat maps. This is what we want. Now, this one was the surprising one. This is El Neni against Man United. And again, I've picked the centre midfielder who's played predominantly on the left. We can see El Nene's here. He's in Man United's half. He's like the hottest of the hot spots in Man United half. This is Lokonga against Newcastle. Do you know what I mean? Look how high he is. And we're going to the end. This is Maitland now. So he's got two little hot spots. And this is against Watford, I believe. But again, his is quite high. It's not in that region here where we find Granit Xhaka's. And this is why I was saying he's in Gabriel's space a lot of the time. Like, what is he doing there that Gabriel can't do? And so this is why I don't think it's Arteta, because we can look at 1, 2, and 3 have all got quite high hotspots. It's just this one person whose hotspot's deep in here. And I think that played a major part in he plays where it's safe. So he comes into that deep left position. And yes, it would allow our left back to push on more. But actually, the way Everton pressed us, Gabriel could have brought that ball out. And I will bring up one day Gabriel's and Ben White's, and they could probably easily do that role. We see it with Ben White a lot. He drives through that space because it's left open. So Partey plays a bit higher, but more central. So the midfielder has to engage with Partey, which leaves Ben White the space to come out. Xhaka is just dropping into the left back. So the centre midfielder says, you're perfectly fine there for me, Xhaka. I can see you. You're not a danger to me. It can go to you, but you're not coming in. You're not penetrating in behind me. So it's very easy for me to defend that. Do you take anything else from them heat maps?
Just quickly, was Xhaka fit for the Man United game?
No, not that. No, he wasn't. No,
because like you're saying, I think I do agree with Canis there. I think this is Arteta's scared tactics, because there's no way that you don't know, like, your players. So I don't know if this is what he means, yeah. But Canis here, what I'm taking from it is, he thinks we're playing away from home. If I put Xhaka in there, my fullbacks can go on, but then I got to cover with Xhaka. That's what I'm taking from it, from those heat maps, is that's maybe where he wants him. Like, and he not even where he wants him, but he knows that's where he stands and that's where he plays. Yeah. So maybe he's thinking, all right, cool. If Tierney can bomb on, then I can put Xhaka in this area, or Xhaka will be in this area to fill a gap.
No, I do hear you, and we know that Xhaka does do. I mentioned it last week when Cannas brought up the goal we conceded when Tavares went to play the ball to Smith Rowe. He thought it was coming back and went up, and we got caught. And I said that is where Xhaka would sit.
Yeah.
But the only reason I'm going to counter it is because I'm seeing 3 heat maps from 3 players, different players, who played the same role as the left-sided centre midfielder, who all have a hotter spot higher up the pitch, and there's only one who didn't. And again, if that was against a Liverpool, a City, even United, I expected El Nene's to be deeper because we're playing United.
Yeah.
But actually, it's come in a game where we're comfortable. We had probably more possession in that game than we had any other game.
Yeah.
But again, it's pointless possession because it's just keeping it between the 3 at the back. There's no real pressure because Everton don't want to press us there. You can keep it there, but you're not getting over the halfway line.
Yeah.
And it's just easy to deal with. There's this lack of threat, and it's frustrated the life out of me. And again, yes, it feels like we're bashing, but again, it's just those little things. Just take more of a risk. Just step 10 yards higher. Do you know what I mean? And I can quickly grab Gabriel's heat map. I will grab it later, and we will see where he plays, because, yeah, to me, it's not much different to where Xhaka was, and it's probably now we just put 2 players in the area we really didn't need to, which then limits our attacking threat. Because again, to me, this game we created less chances. We probably had less touches in opposition box than we ever had.
Yeah.
And again, Aubameyang only had, I think, 1 touch in opposition box last week, or 2 touches. So it's not like, because we didn't play him, we wasn't getting in them areas. But actually, other players wasn't able to get in the box because it was such a negative game. This for me personally, anyway. So we're gonna keep it moving. So that was just to touch on Cannes' point. Let's take it back. It's this one. Now, this one's quite interesting. And I've got some videos to show afterwards. Again, we're playing high up. The first image is Saka on the ball. in his usual position. He's come on his left foot. He's put a cross in. Martinelli's made the run forward. It's headed out. I could have got more screen grabs, but I really couldn't be bothered. But you can see where Decore starts on the edge of his box. So he's got time to bring the ball down. He's now shaped up Xhaka. Xhaka's held him up. You can see Tierney behind Gordon, and Gordon's just ran off him. Again, Xhaka's now had to dig in. He gets in this position. Again, it's just showing down the line, but he lets him come inside. He gives him away a foul, and that results in the free kick. So straight away on that, you play higher position, but for your centre midfielder, what you're expecting from him in these two first slides here?
If you're going to foul on the edge of their box because you're not going to get a yellow card, are you?
Probably not if you do it early enough. And I've got something to show afterwards, to be fair.
So first of all,
in agreement.
If you're going to foul, do it higher up the pitch. Yeah. Secondly, you've got to engage there. Or you've got to drop. You engage or you drop. Like, you've done neither. The fact that he's turned and you then kind of got not even close, but like, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. You've got caught in no man's land because you're unsure. Listen, he's been out for 2 months, yeah? So I get it. Yeah. He's thinking, can I get there? Can I not? And it's a horrible feeling when you're thinking, like, can I get there? Can I not? My legs might be feeling it or whatever. Like, so I understand why he got caught in no man's land. But overall, let's take away he hasn't played for 2 months. Let's just say this is normal Xhaka. You've either got to commit with either decision, not be half-hearted. Because the fact that you're half-hearted, it's like the presses at the beginning of the season that we were doing that were half-hearted presses. And we're like, you're not pressing, but you're not dropping. So it's easy to get picked off. Like, that's an example of it.
Yeah.
Where he's not actually doing that. He's there, but he's not doing nothing.
Not doing anything, not impacted the game. And do you know what? I'm going to stop you there because we've all seen that one. And that led to the first yellow card, which has a direct link to the last goal. So we're going to stop it there. But I'm going to put up 2 clips of the difference. And this is where, again, you'll just see it for yourself. This is the first clip. And look where we're playing. So if you remember that clip, that's when he done the lovely reverse ball into Lacazette. I think it was.
Yeah.
Then, yeah. We'll get it again. Look how hard. And then I'm going to bring this one in because I think this one's really important.
Lacazette seeking Aubameyang.
So, yes, it's a different scenario, but you can see where Maitland-Niles is, where he's trying to impact the game. And from that, Ben White's then nicked the ball and we've gone on and scored. But where, I don't know who it is, I think it's Sarr. He's almost in the Corey position. Yeah. Sorry, carry on.
He set the tone with a press there. So naturally, one person goes, you got to go. You got to follow up. Like, we got lucky. It was definitely a foul. But just that intensity got us the goal.
Yeah.
Just that intensity.
That, if the referee calls the foul, again, if we go back to it,
Lacazette seeking Aubameyang.
So again, we let Sarr go. It's similar to Gordon there, where he can now just bomb up the pitch and go.
Yeah,
he just stops it up high up the pitch. So even if it's a foul, look where the foul is. Instead, we fouled in a dangerous area. Do you know what I mean? And he's taken it again. He might have got away without a yellow card up the pitch, but is that second? And this one now does lead to. So what we've seen previously in the stills was obviously the yellow card Xhaka got, and I think that did influence his decision on this one. But what I want you to watch is his footwork at the start, because like you said earlier, with one sets to press, we all press. We've got them almost blocked in. There's a lot of our bodies around the ball. And what Xhaka's first instinct? So not sure if you see it, but he takes about 3 steps back.
He's already going back.
Yeah, right. So you've seen it. So we'll play it again. I really want to get this in slow-mo, but I didn't have the technology. But and it's a similar pass. Remember what I was saying about Partey could probably reverse that ball into Xhaka if he's 5 yards higher. Andre Gomez's body language to say, I'm going forward. So the reverse pass is on. We'll show it again. What Andre Gomez... He going back to the centre-back. But it's just that split second, that decision to actually, I'm going to go forward, dictates Doucouré's pass, which means they're on the front foot again. Again, Xhaka's taken 2 steps back, while Odegaard's gone 5 steps forward, and now he can't recover. Do you know what I mean? He gets there, he holds up. I don't think he'd probably get a yellow for that, if I'm honest, if he makes an honest challenge at the ball. But again, he's taken a safe option not to foul. They go the other end, and Damari Gray, I could have clipped it, but I don't want to see that.
No. Play the video again. Just play the video again. I'm being honest with you. If you can get there and do that, you can tackle. No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm being dead serious, because that was the one that was the iceberg for me, and that was the tip of it for yesterday, innit? Yeah. If you can get there, jump out the way and put your hands up, you can stick a foot in.
But put your body on him. Yeah, but even that, put your body on him. Just take the yellow. Just almost, I'm blocking him. I'm sorry, but not even take the yellow, because I think you probably get away with that there to a certain degree. Do you know what I mean? But again, this is partly him, but it's partly Arteta. He had to come off while he was on the yellow. Because again, if that's Lokonga, El Nene, Sam, whoever it is, Sambi, Maitland-Niles, who's not on a yellow card, they could just take that foul there.
Yeah.
But he needed to come off. He wasn't fully fit. I don't think he was 100%. They're not saying he's the most mobile.
2 training sessions and straight back in 90 minutes. What kind of privilege is that?
Yeah, it's madness. It's madness.
No, let's be real, yeah. What kind of privilege is that? Like, who's that good in Arsenal's team to say 2 training sessions, you come back in and play 90 minutes? Who's that effective that we need?
Yeah, no, I agree with that, actually. It's very, very true. DWTT saying Xhaka plays the man, not the ball. That's why he pulls up and puts his hands up. Yeah, it's that desire to win the ball. He doesn't seem to have desire to win the ball to me. Again, it's just that I tried to get there, but I just missed out. It's not my fault. Maybe someone else should. Do you know what I mean? It's that I just don't think he has desire, really, and honestly. Like, when we score a goal, he shows great leadership, but when the chips are down, he's not one I look to. And again, these things, you can eradicate them. When we get beat by Liverpool, I get it. They're fantastic. But when you watch this back, it's just like, really, we've been beaten by this? Like, 2 silly mistakes. And again, the first one, I'm not even really blaming Xhaka. Yes, he could demand the ball more. Partey doesn't need to come across. Odegaard, once Partey does go Odegaard, you've got to do a little more to go and help out as well.
Absolutely.
And rotate around. The second one, again, it's not just him, there's a few, but again, it's just that desire of actually, let's squeeze the pitch right here and now rather than let's back away. And I think a few of the clips with the heat map shows me it's him mentally. Arteta hasn't told him in that position, take 3 steps back before you go and engage. That's just who he is.
That's just who
he is.
I
mean? Whereas Maitland-Niles is, I'm going to get in your face because I'm banking on myself. I know I've got the agility and the explosiveness to actually go and nick that ball. Or even if you do beat me, I can recover. So I don't mind going to press a bit higher because I know I can get back. Whereas, again, if you know you can't do both, you're going to take the safe option and sit back, which, again, this is where I say there was a lot different this performance than previous performances. We didn't create hardly anything. We didn't even get in the ball in the final third much. And we've seen clips of moments where he probably could just play 5-10 yards higher. And he hasn't. He sat in, and it shows with the heat maps. Again, El Nene's played higher against Man United, who have Jadon Sancho's playing on that wing, or Rashford, and not being disrespectful, Everton had Gordon. Like, if there's a game where you think actually I could push on a bit higher, it'd probably be that one. Do you know what I mean? Doucouré and Alan is your central midfield partnership isn't the most expansive. So yeah, it's dire. So where do we go from here? What's your suggestions? So Arteta's not watching today, actually. I hope he catches up with it later. But yeah, mate, it's a hard one.
We got Southampton Saturday.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I go with a dynamic midfield. I put Sambi and Ainsley Maitland-Niles straight back in. Don't know why. Maitland-Niles hasn't been given enough opportunity since his man of the match performance against Watford. I know it's against Watford, but Everton ain't won a game in 9 games.
Yeah.
So it's not about who we're playing against. Well, so obviously it does come down to that, because if you're playing against Liverpool or someone like that, I understand it. But you can only play who you're playing against, and he played well.
Yeah. No,
and we all know what football's like. You make better decisions when you're more confident.
Yeah.
Xhaka weren't confident. Partey's not confident. So to have them two in middle together right now is dangerous. I think you play with one. You don't play with 2 pivots, because you're losing a man in attack. So even if you start Xhaka, I'm not saying don't start Xhaka on Saturday, but don't play both.
Yeah, no, I agree. And again, I've been calling for Smith Rowe to play centre midfield. I know Odegaard's done it a few times, but I think he's too lightweight for me. But I wasn't Ramsey's biggest fan, but I'm watching that. Ramsey used to play the same role Xhaka's playing in, so it would either be Coquelin or Cazorla would be the deeper, and they'd be orchestrating. They played the Partey role yesterday. Ramsey was the free man, so you can see by them clips where Partey's in and around Tomiyasu, trying to get on the ball and play, and he was the one getting the ball off the back line a lot of the time in that pocket. Ramsey's gone. And timing, whatever it was, sometimes he would leave us open, but Ramsey's gone and he's trying to make an impact up there. Sometimes just by a run, it gives the centre-back something to think about. You know Lacazette will come and do the deep. So actually, that's even more reason when Lacazette's playing, Jesus Christ, I'm gone. Because I know Lacazette, I'm going to cheat off you, Lacazette, because I know you're going to have to dig back in. Because once I've gone past you, you now got to do my role. So
you got to do my work. Lacazette does it. So you can rely on him to do it. See if there's a man that you think, I can go, but he ain't going to run back in for me. Lacazette digs. Like we're saying, we see Lacazette in the left back position yesterday. Like, I'm actually seeing him win the ball back on our defensive line, our back line. So, but then there's no understanding of players. I still don't think we understand each other.
Yeah, I agree. Cannon FC said there's 0 excuses for the performance yesterday. 0. I agree with him.
Yeah, absolutely.
DWDT, I was just about to say Arsenal therapy is working. Yeah, AA, join us every week on AA. I might change the name of the show to Arsenal Anonymous. And DWTT, don't waste the tweets, agrees with you. Xhaka and Partey was supposed to be the answer. Nah, not again. Maitland-Niles and Sambi. And this is what I was saying yesterday. I'd rather see the youth now, because we've seen Xhaka for how many seasons? We haven't got top 4 since he's joined the club. And this is why I say he is our worst signing ever. He's not the worst player by a long way. He's not the worst player, but for what he stands for what we've done to try and build this team around him, he has been a letdown after letdown. We've gone through so many different centre midfield partnerships for him, and none of them seem to work. And yeah, not saying it's just his fault, but again, there's some moments where certain things happen. We was crying out for a midfielder. Kante was available, and we took Xhaka instead, and we've seen how that's ended up now. So that is why he goes down.
The other day, innit?
Yeah, he said his biggest mistake was not buying Kante, and I think Pepe could be another one that goes into that category in a year's time, because again, you look at, sometimes there might not be players available to buy, and sometimes there is. And when we got Pepe, Zaha was there ready for the taking, and we went with Pepe. And it's the same thing. Kante was available, we went with Xhaka. We've made 2 bad decisions, which are going to haunt us. Cannon said Xhaka should have been subbed around the 60th. He couldn't challenge on the build-up to the second goal. Massive questions on Mikel Arteta's subs. We both agree with that. He should have come off. As soon as he got the yellow, he's in a dangerous position, and he's not fully fit. So actually, you got to manage him. Do you know what I mean? You've done it with Tierney. You saw Tierney struggle twice, and you took him off. So yeah, same should have been done there. Lacazette in left back is what we used to see from Abba back when he 20+ goal scorer. Yeah, but again, it is rotation. Sometimes it does have to happen. The way we play. What is wrong with Partey? He's been a shadow of his Atletico Madrid form. Yeah, and I'm in 100% agreement with that. It seems to be like a curse at the moment. We can't seem to get it right in the middle. And again, it might just be he needs a couple of weeks out just to get fresh again. Do you know what I mean? Get his legs behind him. It seems like he's running on empty, and maybe
how many times do we force him back?
That's it. He never has a proper rest. As soon as he's back fit, like Xhaka the other day, as soon as he's back available, he's back in.
And Tierney, I know Tierney's had a little bit of a rest recently, but for a long time, I get he was our only left back. But we're hurting our players because we're forcing them back in when they're not actually ready.
Mhm.
And
Definitely.
Partey he can get touched by a fly and be hurt. So you need to wrap him up in cotton wool.
Yeah,
Know your
definitely,
players.
definitely. Right, just quickly, because I said I'll find the Gabriel heat maps, so I've managed to find them. So let's get them up. So this is, I can't remember which game's which. Hopefully it tells me on it. I literally just took the screenshots I had and sent them in. So the hotspot is the defensive area. Wait, that's Xhaka. That's not even him. Have I pulled out the wrong ones? Wait. Sorry, I pulled out the wrong ones. I don't know what's happened there. I've had a mare, mate. Blah, 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 blah. So do you want to keep talking while I find them? Give us a little
Keep
bit about
talking.
yourself. Tell us about your goal on the weekend, actually.
Me, you
Yeah, tell us
watch.
about your goal.
You watch. You know I don't really talk about myself. I let others talk.
Tell the fans about your goal of the weekend because it was a nice one. To be fair, it was a nice one. It was a nice one. Breaking the lines.
Breaking the lines, playing in a false nine, like Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not your target man striker. I'm your striker that you got to get it into my feet, in and around in the pockets. Bit like Lacazette.
Yeah.
My wingers play a bit more inverted. I drop, they go, and they leave the space. Or if they don't leave the space, then they get it in behind.
Rate that. Right, hold on. I'm gonna get to some comments while this is just trying to upload. So yeah, be patient. But I think it's important to see it because I think it then feeds into what we've been saying, and it just ties it all together nicely.
Hmm.
But EWTT Pepe has shown us though was second leading scorer last season with limited and poor performances. Now he's shut out. It's definitely something wrong there. I just probably feel he's not given enough, but I don't want to speculate because we don't know. We don't know what's happening.
Do you know with Arteta,
Yeah.
like being in obviously certain change rooms before and having a manager that was an ex-pro. Obviously, a lot of managers are ex-pros, but when I mean so young, it's more difficult, and you find that they fall out with players or they get along with players better. Like you see the drastic change. That it's very evident that Arteta has that arrogance about himself. I played under a manager that had the same arrogance about himself and believed that although he's retired, he could still do what you're doing and more.
Yeah.
So it's difficult with Arteta because he's so young. He's not actually been out of the game that long. I know he's been with Pep and whatnot for a few years, but mentally and that arrogance, like players and young managers sometimes clash. You might think that they get along better, but they actually clash because he still thinks as a player rather than he's still got his player head on. Like you probably see him joining training all the time or stuff like that. Like that's what our gaffer used to do. But he's actually the gaffer now, whereas he's not thinking like that. He's just thinking as I'm a player, and it's not his fault because he was a player for 19, 20 years, however many years. So he doesn't have that managerial side, that nurture, how to actually connect with a player differently rather than as a player. Even how he speaks to him. I bet Wenger would speak to players differently to then how Arteta would speak.
Yeah, I think what you hear from people about Wenger, he was very trusting, wasn't he? And almost let you go. And not little coaching, but was minimal. He wasn't too demanding of this is how I want you to be. It's very much, listen, you're a player. I believe in you. Just get on the ball and do what you got to do. Whereas I do think Arteta's more of a system. But again, we say these things, but that was probably the thing that used to drive me mad about Wenger sometimes was when we're getting beat 8-2 and you're thinking, Jesus Christ, why are these boys not going to the corner flag and holding the ball? Why are we not tracking back? So it's a balance, but I do agree with you about the age thing, first job. But also sometimes it comes down to characters as well. Pepe's character may be that he doesn't fancy it. Like when things are going wrong, he's not putting work in. Like, do you know what I mean? There's been plenty of players who have been dropped over the years and bounced back and show that arrogance. Lacazette is a perfect example of someone who's been constantly disrespected for the last year. I would say he's been better than Aubameyang for the last year and a half by far. He might not have scored as many, but he doesn't play as much minutes. But he's been a better player, and constantly he gets dragged off. He gets benched. He doesn't play for weeks. But when he comes back, he's got a fighting spirit. Again, we're going to a West Ham game. If Pepe's on the bench, I want to see how many times he warms up. And again, that's without Arteta saying, go warm up. When are you going to take it upon yourself to go and do your warm up to show the manager, I want to play? Do you know what I mean? So again, if I look round and thinking I want to make a change and I look round and he sat down, I'm not bringing him on because I'm thinking, you know what? I'm done with you. But if I can see Eddie Nketiah showing willing or Aubameyang showing willing, that's going to spur me to think, actually, let me give one of them ones a shout because they're showing a bit more desire and hunger, even though they're not playing. So I'm not too sure whose fault it is, but something's definitely not right. And
Pepe don't want to play under him.
no,
And that's the thing. In speaking from a player, what am I playing under you for? Type of thing. I don't want to play under you.
yeah.
I don't want to play under you. And it's not the right mentality to have. It's not the right mentality to have. But a lot of players also believe that they're going to outlast the manager.
I think that's the big issue, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to bring this up now because this is I found the right ones. So this is for the last 4 matches, I believe, for Gabriel, his heat maps. I'm not sure how well you can see it because it's not in the same format as earlier. It's just in the middle of us. But you can see he dominates that left area.
He actually has a red in their own half.
Yeah. So you could play nice and high up. Look here. Look where that red zone is, and we're gonna bring it back. So this time now the game's going the other way. I think this one might be the Liverpool or Man United. I can't remember which ones I screenshotted. It doesn't actually have the games on there. And again, this way it's going that direction. The heat map, got the wrong way with that way. So, but you can see his left channel up to the halfway line. It's always pretty red. This one extremely red in that area there. And I'm going to bring this back up again because I feel this is important. Let's get rid of that. In fact, let's keep it up.
Anyway, you could get both.
Let's see. We're going to keep that one there. We're going to bring it up. Get to this one. Share this. And let's move it along. Oh, God, I've done it again, ain't I? From current slide. Here we go. I'm not too sure how well you lot can see all of this right now. Is it up or is it not sharing?
I got Gabriel's.
Hold on then. Bear with me 1 second. Sorry, people's technicals. We're getting there. We're learning. We're trying to do something different today. And here we go. Right, it should load in a second. All right, it's got that slap bang in the middle. But we can see Xhaka's, and that's quite good because we can compare Xhaka to Gabriel. And this is what I'm saying. Is he just in the way right now?
Is he my left-sided centre-back?
Gabriel?
Nah, Xhaka.
Yeah, and this is what I was getting at. So you can see Xhaka's is next to Gabriel's at the moment. We've crossed out Lokonga's by accident. No fault of our own, just technology. But look where Xhaka's hotspot is and look where Gabriel's hotspot is. And if I can come out of this one, bear with me. I can bring up some more of Gabriel. So I'm going to put Gabriel's other ones on.
Yeah.
Again, there. This is the other way around. But again, he's got a hotspot. Right where Xhaka is again. And again, this one here, he's dominant with the hotspot. So if you look where El Nene's is to Gabriel's, it's a forward pass into El Nene.
Yeah.
Whereas when Xhaka plays, it's a pass out to where my left back could be. And this is what I keep saying. He's just in the way. Like, let Gabriel just have that space because Gabriel's more than comfortable there. And he's been doing it for weeks. And we've had forward passes. Whereas now it's a sideways left pass where he's comfortable. Again, he doesn't want to take the ball on the half turn or under any pressure. So if I sit in that channel there on the left, the game's in front of me. So no one can press me from there, really. No one don't want to press me there because I'm ineffective there. I'm not causing any problems. So the opposition is saying, yeah, you can have that there, mate. And that is... Go on. You go with that.
No. I'm just curious. Any chance you could get Tomiyasu's heat map up?
I'm going to have to go find that. That would take me a few minutes. You can talk for a minute or two.
No, do you know what the reason being I say that, yeah?
All right, leave that there for now.
Because I'm a bit stuck on Canna's point, and I'm buying into his point more so. I think it is Arteta's scare factor tactics. Like, meaning... You know what you're expecting from Xhaka, yeah? And both points are right, absolutely, yeah? But I'm feeling like we watched it yesterday and I came on after and I said, I'm crying for someone to overlap Saka, yeah?
Yeah.
Like, every game he's getting doubled up on. Why can we not make it a 2v2? Or why can we not put him in a position where we can try create a 1v1 for him or something like that? He is constantly getting doubled up on and smashed. Newcastle, he had great ability to get past, but that's one game. People have been saying, "Oh, he's not really been at the races or whatnot recently." That's because you know how hard it is playing against two players. No matter how
I
good
know,
you are,
yeah.
no matter how good you are, you know how hard it is playing against two players. You're getting doubled up on all the time because they're scared of you, and every time you get the ball, whack. Look at Godfrey on Saka yesterday. Godfrey often plays on the left-hand side, but he's probably their most physical defender. There's
He's
no
a monster.
coincidence
Yeah, he's
that
a
he
monster.
played on Saka's side yesterday.
Yeah.
So, for me, I think we are defending, or Arteta wants to defend with four sometimes.
Yeah, it may
Meaning,
be.
because Tomiyasu doesn't go that much.
No, he doesn't. But if you watch how we play, Odegaard or Lacazette when he's out there, they spend a lot of time on the right side.
Yeah,
That's why I do feel sorry for the left a bit because it's normally just two of them, and Smith Rowe will drift in. So
yeah,
Tomiyasu had that whole left for him. Like it's good sometimes when you're attacking because obviously we're playing on the right to switch out to the left.
yeah.
However, there's times where it could be quite lonely out there. And if you watch Odegaard, he and Lacazette, they seem to drift to that right side a lot. So again, it's between the three of them, there should be more. Right, I've got the things here. Let me save these two.
I think they drift out there though because he's not there, and that's not by choice. But you know what it's like when you see a bit of space, you're naturally inclined to go into the space, innit?
Yeah.
Especially if someone's not going into it. Like sometimes, Odegaard, what are you doing out there? You're not really that effective out there.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Right, so I've got them here. Hold on. Right, we're going to bring these up. So we'll bring up Odegaard's first. And again, as I said, it's heavy on the right. So this is where it don't make sense why Saka gets doubled up on because he's just out there. He's out there. And then
he's heavy on the right, but there's no urgency to go round.
There's no overlapping or nothing. Yeah. It's just saying, just give it to me here and I'll go backwards or keep it ticking. And again, this is Tomiyasu's. So his is heavy in that area.
But I don't know, man. If I know Trent, but even if you look at the top, Reece James, for example, Chelsea are relying on Reece James to score goals at the minute. Look at where he would be. I'm not saying his heat map's bad, yeah, but I want my fullback going forward. I'm used to Bakary Sagna being his would be red in their area.
Yeah, definitely.
Getting on crosses and going round. I get we've evolved since having those kind of right backs and left backs or whatever, but I just think he's restricted. Yeah.
And again, it might be partly right. We keep the free. Tomiyasu is probably stronger defensively, and I think that's why Odegaard hangs on the right more to allow the left to go. So we almost keep Tomiyasu, Ben White, and Gabriel, and that's why I said Xhaka now is in the way because if Tomiyasu's not going, Gabriel can be the right side to bring it out. Tomiyasu could be the right side to bring it out, and Ben White's then more can just hold and look after whatever it works out.
Yeah,
but actually we've got three, so one of you will be able to step out because we've naturally built a three. So with Xhaka then comes back in there, it's actually, but again, he's not even bringing the ball out. Where I'm seeing Ben White bringing the ball out. With Xhaka, if you're going to sit in that pocket, then you bring the ball out and you get as higher at the pitch, but you're not doing it. So yeah, it seems to be a ploy. And again, like we see here, Odegaard, he's kind of in and around places. But again, we can bring up the picture from earlier where he could have made a dart in behind, whereas it was actually Saka who came short, got the ball to him as he bounced it. Then he was the one that turned and span, where actually he's brought the left back with him. Odegaard go and expose that space behind. Do you know what I mean? And then Xhaka, if you go and join on the edge, let's go and find it because we're talking blind at the moment. Sorry.
Yeah, we are. Sorry.
Let's share this screen again. Sorry, guys. We're just going to find it. I know you lot are loving the tactical analysis. Let's go back. It's the one with the arrows. Not that one. This one here. So you can see where Saka's come.
Yeah. So
Saka's bounced it, and he has to then turn and dig in. Whereas if Odegaard makes that run into where the arrows are, Saka, because again, Saka's got Ben Godfrey with him.
Yeah.
Now, Michael Keane now, if he spots it, if Andre Gomez doesn't go with Odegaard, Michael Keane has to come across. Now, Xhaka now makes that run in there. You presume you've got Lacazette. There's just more options. Do you know what I mean? You've got to move players around a bit. But as we can see from this one up here, it's now Saka again who has to make that run in behind.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Look how much ground he has to make up all the time to kind of try and make something happen. Whereas, yeah, someone else could easily be doing that. Like Tomiyasu's fine on the ball there for me. Partey's the option. Actually, you go and play 10 yards higher because
Yeah.
we've seen Gabriel's heat map. He's more than comfortable in this area. And actually, if you take Iwobi that way, that's just giving Gabriel more space to play in. And he can still find Tavares with the pass or Tierney, whoever it is. But actually, all Xhaka's doing is just going and sitting in that pocket there. And you're not doing anything. You're not doing anything in that pocket that Gabriel can't do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so now a bit of rotation in there. And Nketiah comes in. If Xhaka's on his bike in behind, there's spaces. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just too easy to sit in that position.
It's too. You got to take risks sometimes.
Yeah.
Because how are you going to get reward?
Yeah. Like, again, look at that one above with the square. Just go and play in there.
The ref's on the half turn, mate. Ready to thread balls. Like,
yeah. But they said, just go and play in there. Just go and play in there. Because, again, you might just unsettle something. And even if you now drag Iwobi in there, what does that give Tavares on the outside?
Well, it goes to Gabriel either way, but then he's got to then get out to Gabriel or no Tavares because it's going to go from Gabriel to Tavares. Yeah. Now, but I bet you anything that happens here, yeah, if that does happen, Xhaka drops back into the left back position. Whereas, just go.
Yeah, go. Because again, do you know what it's doing as well? That pass from Gabriel is going to go to Xhaka, which is going to go to Tavares anyway, but that's taking probably 3 seconds longer, which gives everyone more time to shift across. If he goes, now if it gets wrapped into Tavares, we're now on the front foot, and Tavares might have someone to bounce into. You look at the goal we scored, it was a ball in to Lacazette who bounced it out to Tierney. So actually, just go and have options in different areas, like 3 bodies around the ball. You can play quick 1-2s. And you're now on the opposition half, whereas it's just so slow and easy just to give it there to the left centre. Or Xhaka is playing as a false left centre back. I've never heard of a false left centre back, but that's what he's playing like. I've heard of a false 9, but he's a false left centre back. And then it goes up to Tavares quite slow, which then means it comes back to Xhaka because he's not even going to commit and make a 5-yard run forward. So we're just going to go back to him in there. Here, go back to Gabriel, and we just transition to the right slow. It's just too slow. Like
he's got a free roll across the back line.
No, I'm coming. I'm stopping sharing that. I can't do no more of that, man. This is hurting my heart, my head. All right, we're going to get to some last comments before we wrap up today. Thank you guys for the engagement as well. Hope you've all enjoyed the show. Comments have been brilliant. We've got a lot of comments. We got to get to all of these quickly. Hold on.
Man, let's get through, man.
He said, them fellas need a bush bath. Cannon FC. If inform us what a bush bath is, please. I need to know. Big up all Thomas part-time is what they should call him. I'm not even going to back Partey no more. I can't even defend him. KT got to have time to get back into the team because Arteta trusts his players. Tavares, for some reason, he doesn't trust the midfielders. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, hopefully not Sambi. Yeah, I think give KT a run. I don't think any of us have got issues with KT, even though Tavares deserved his place after KT got back from injury. I think that's one position I'm actually happy with either option. But yeah, he's got to show a bit more faith in Sambi and Maitland-Niles. Give them a go. It can't be no worse. Cannon, that was in reply to what you were saying earlier about him being like, he's just come out of playing, saying he's not a gaffer. Arteta has Peck's book without the players' assistance, recruiting, monies. Not sure he's looking up to see what actually he has at his disposal. Get the best out of this Arsenal. We aren't City. Yeah, he should be getting more out of them. I do agree. But again, we have to be realistic. We haven't got some of the players that those guys have got. Great analysis of Gabriel and Xhaka positioning. This makes it easy to defend when opponents are close together. Yeah, and again, you can be close together in an attacking area, and that's quite difficult because we can play quick little triangles around you. But in that area there, that's perfect for me because, as a defensive-minded player myself, if the ball and your players are in front of me, I'm comfortable. The last thing I want is you behind me. If I could see you, well, you even see Xhaka. Xhaka's not on the half turn. But if I could see Xhaka right there, it's easy to me. I could just screen. You can't even get the ball into your strikers now because you've got the whole attack and midfield to get past with one pass. Almost impossible. Whereas actually, if you play 10 yards in between me and my striker, now if you can turn and get the ball in, there's no protection for my centre backs because I can't screen it. So yeah, it's all too easy. Let's get to some more. Solo, how you doing, brother? I know you're enjoying this week, but big up yourself. And he's saying big up George.
Big up, man. Nice to see you, man. Nice to meet you.
Mhm. Basically, Arsenal make it easy defenders. They don't have to move. Yeah, I agree, because everything's in front of them. Running around does not mean you're effective. Honestly, heat maps tell one side of the story. I hear that, but what it does do, it creates space elsewhere. If I make a 20-yard run somewhere else, someone has to pick me up, because if you don't and I get that ball, I'm in acres of space. Ramsey was key for it. And by me doing that, it might create space for someone else to go and play in. If we stand still, the opposition say, fine, you're perfectly fine there. You can shift it from left to right, and we're just move left and right with you, and we're just screen you out. So yeah, we're not saying run around like headless chickens, but actually sometimes attack space. We saw Fred do it against us. We saw Fred do it. Like when he got it, he didn't do anything amazing, but he got a penalty and he made a 5-yard pass for Bruno Fernandes to score. And that's what we're saying. It's just being higher up the pitch will cause problems. We've seen the clips of Maitland-Niles, and I'll show you again if you want me to, of winning the ball high up the pitch. Risk averse. Arsenal are risk averse. Can't miss if you don't shoot. Can't fail if you don't try. I like that. So if I don't try and make a tackle, then yeah, I didn't fail because I didn't try and make the tackle or run back. And yeah, we see the videos earlier. Yeah, stats prove nothing themselves. Xhaka's passing stats are good, but they don't create scoring chances. Yeah, I agree with that. And you know me, I don't like stats. I don't really like stats. I want to see. I do the eye test, hence why I watch the game back. And then I start seeing the problems. Again, stats will tell you I made 100 passes, but what is the point if I just passed it 5 yards or backwards? Haven't actually improved anything. It's a bath that you take when you need to get rid of bad juju. Oh gosh. And he's agreeing with don't waste the tweets comment about stats and Xhaka's passing. So we're going to wrap up. The long and short of it, we were terrible. There's a lot to improve on, but personnel do make a big difference. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Hope you've enjoyed the show. George, thank you again for your insight. You're fantastic. You know what you're talking about. And yeah, hopefully Arteta tunes into the show like he has done in recent weeks, and we've gone on to win things. So hopefully he tunes in again. Guys, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, make sure you do. Also, give some feedback on how our pictures were today, because before we've been doing it a bit different. This time we put it in a PowerPoint presentation. I hope it was easier for you guys to follow. But yeah, I really appreciate the comments, you guys joining in. It makes the show 10 times better for us when you guys are engaging. And yeah, George, what are you thinking about this weekend? You feeling a bit more confident?
Yeah. Although Southampton, I never feel confident against Southampton. Against Man United, one of our
bogey teams.
Yeah, it is. Against Man United, I was not confident at all. Felt like they had a lot more to play for than us, and that always doesn't help. Like, obviously, we have a lot to play for, but I just felt like they had a lot, if you get what I mean. Yeah. Everton, I was looking at it, I was thinking, Monday night, are my players going to get up for it? No. I didn't really feel it, didn't really see it happening. But Saturday against Southampton, I don't know how they're really doing. I don't think they're doing too great, are they?
Nah, not really. But they will cause different kind of threats. But I think we definitely need to see a reaction.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not expect getting beat by United and Liverpool, but you take it like, oh, it's one of the top teams. But
yeah,
this one will shock us. And again, I'm hoping we react like we did against the Palace draw, where it was actually we need to change it up. And we did change it for a few weeks and was looking better. But like Abood said yesterday, it feels like 1 step forward, 3 steps back at the moment sometimes. And I don't think any of us saw this result against Everton. And worse for me was the performance. It was dire. Like, I was losing my head. So, right.
I'm happy because it can't get any worse.
That's the only positive. Yeah, I want to see. As I said, I'd rather see some risk now. I'd rather see us play with a Sambi who is learning. He's learning on the job. But actually, at least you know there's going to be some positives come out from it, or hopefully he learns from mistakes. We've seen these performances from Xhaka time in, time out. Partey recently, we've seen these performances. We're not getting anything from them. So it's time to kind of change it up a little bit, I feel. And
definitely.
Yeah, go a bit fresher. And again, we put the youngsters in and they've all performed well. This back line's very young and they're performing quite well. So don't be scared to play one or two
ESR and Saka. So it shows that the youngsters, okay, they are gems, but just give it to them. They deserve it.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, my guy's back. Arteta's back. He promised to do better against Southampton. I hope you do, and I hope your players do, Mikel. I hope they do. But yeah, on that, we're going to leave it there. Appreciate everyone for joining in. Arteta, it was nice to see you jump in. But let's give this guy another go. We need this. Let me get rid of this comments. We want to see this in big screen. And yeah, also check out Jordan's goals. I normally post them up when you score and I can get hold of them. So on my Twitter, there's a nice free kick on there. I haven't gone back to see if the goal was on there from Saturday, but I'm going to have a look for it today and post that as well.
Oh, I heard it didn't get recorded,
the turn was
man.
neat. No, I hope it did. The turn was neat. And then there was someone recording next to where I was sitting actually. So I'm hoping they put it up. Yeah. It wasn't a video camera, but they had a normal camcorder. So hopefully they caught it. Yeah. But this is the kind of energy we want to see on the weekend. We're going to bring this back to Maitland-Niles. We need. That's what we need. Look at the starting position. Win that ball high up. We're on the front foot. We need that against Saints.
Hear the fans though. Play it again so they can hear the fans.
Yeah, we might as well put.
Lacazette seeking Aubameyang.
We need that front foot football. This is what we don't need. Oh God! And even worse is this one. Look at this. This is my centre midfielder enforcer. Look at this. Let's watch this one again. He actually slowed up. Jordan, he actually slowed up and stopped. Like,
what are you trying to? What are you trying to do to me? I always ended on a good note.
No, I want to end on that note so people can remember, because
that is who before we go quickly. Yeah, I woke up this morning for work early, about 5 something or whatever. I see a message. Yeah, so I look at the message on WhatsApp now. This man's here trying to upset me still. I came on the show last night. I didn't want to. He told me, come on, it's therapeutic and whatnot. It's therapy, yeah? Okay, I came on. I let it out. He then triggers me again by sending me Xhaka's heat maps, yeah? I've never woke up so angry in the morning before.
I apologize. You want another video? Okay, we can't end on that one. I don't have anything good, really, and honestly, mate. I'll put some better ones in for next time. Actually, okay, we're going to end on this one. This one will make you lot laugh. Hold on, let me find this one. Oh, no, I'm not allowed to play that one. I'm so sorry. Guys, we've got no more videos. Unless you want to see Maitland-Niles again. Let's watch Maitland-Niles.
Why are you not allowed to play that one?
It's copy infringements.
Oh,
let's watch
okay.
Maitland-Niles. Let's watch Ainsley. Yeah, that's how we want to end. But guys, thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate everybody. Yeah, it was a good show. George is brilliant. I didn't even expect to go on for this long, but when we get talking, I said it's therapy. It's good. I should start charging you £25 an hour.
Always. Me? Yeah, man.
But yeah, guys in the comments, appreciate you. DWTT, you've been there from the start. It's an hour and 20 minutes of your life, man. I appreciate you very much for joining.
Me too, man.
Listening to
Thank you for listening.
Yeah, it's been a great show. And Arteta's telling us Maitland-Niles will start on Saturday, maybe. So yeah, guys, thank you very much. We're out of here. Tomorrow you got your gunslingers. It should be a good show. Then we got the preview about Southampton on Thursday, and then we obviously got the live game and match review. Hopefully Gunnar King will be doing a watch along again. Actually, no, he's not allowed. He's done 2 watch alongs and we've been beating both, so we're banning him from them. But yeah, a lot more content to come from Arsenal, from this channel, the Armory TV. Make sure you subscribe. Check out the other channels. Check out Paxton Road. Check out the United Agenda. Obviously, we're part of the Armory. We're growing every week. The subs are going up. So, guys, make sure you keep sharing, keep commenting, keep that engagement up, because we really do appreciate it. But for now, we're out. Next week, hopefully, we'll be back, me and George, again on Monday, our usual time. Hopefully, it's a better, more positive game, and I'll have some more videos for you lot to watch, or hopefully some positive stuff. For now, we're out of here. Appreciate you all. Love. I'm stopping there. I'm not even cutting this off. I've just seen something in my video. Mr. Silver Fox, take Bellerin out of my video. You know better than tag Bellerin in my video. I want that changed by next week. Take that out. Guys, it's all love.